Hello everyone, and I want to welcome you, probably not welcome you back, but welcome you to Chris G Photography. I am currently on furlough from my job and decided to come to one of my favorite places that I've ever taken pictures. It is Guanella Pass. It is in Colorado, only about an hour from my house, so it's actually very convenient. You have 14,000 foot peaks, you have wildflowers, you have trees. It's a great place to see aspen in the autumn. And like I said, it's only an hour from my house, so very, very convenient. I think this is only my 5th or 6th videos, and I've been giving a lot of thought to what I want this channel to be. I've also looked at a lot of other YouTube channels out there and what's available. And although I don't know that I've come up with what I want to be yet, but I do know what I don't want to be. I do not want to follow the paths of others. Obviously, I want to do my own thing. And by doing so, I've come up with 2 words that I never, ever want to use on my channel. The first word is mistake. Yes, can you make mistakes in photography? Of course. You can leave your tripod at home. You cannot charge your batteries. You can forget your memory card. Yes, there's all kinds of mistakes you can make. But other than things like that, you really cannot make a mistake. Believe it or not, there is no governing body of the arts. There's nobody out there that is going to basically, like, there's no governing council. In other words, after you take a photograph, you don't have to present yourself to this governing body to say, is what I'm doing acceptable? And then they take a vote and they critique you and all of that. Now you might say, but Chris, if you're trying to sell your photos, there is a governing body. I'm not saying you cannot take bad photography. But what I am saying is, do not allow the thought of making a mistake hinder your creativity. Because technically, there are no rules. Do what you want to do. I really want this channel to be about creativity and not let things get in the way of that creativity. And so if that means that you have to break the rules, then you have to break the rules. Which brings me to the second word I never want to use, and that is rules. Again, there is no governing body. Yes, there are a set of guidelines that we all agree upon to make any piece of art look good. Like thirds, the horizon line not being in the center, stuff like that. Of course we know these things. However, I think a lot of people get caught up on that these are rules. Going 65 miles an hour in a 65 mile an hour zone is a rule. It's not a suggestion. Do not let yourself get caught. I don't want people to get caught up, and I do not get caught up in going out and obsessing over things like the rules. Because really, there are no rules. There are things we agree upon, but they're not hard and fast rules. Nobody is going to criticize you for saying you broke the rules. And if they do, quite honestly, they're not as concerned about photography or art as they are about their own personal belief that this is the way things have to be done, and if you do them, you're wrong. I don't believe you're wrong. You are out here creating what you want to create. If I don't like it, I don't like it. Somebody once upon a time said, there's only 2 types of music, good and bad. And quite honestly, that goes true with everything, including photography. There's only 2 types of photography, good and bad. I'm going to like your work, or I'm not going to like your work. And that's that. Just like you are not going to like my work, or you are going to like my work. What rules I apply, what mistakes I do or do not make, are irrelevant. So I don't want to go down that road. I want this to be more of a positive experience, a fun experience. My favorite photographer in this world is actually my wife. She doesn't have a camera. She has a cell phone, and yet she has more fun taking pictures than I've ever seen. I wish I could capture that joy, because guess what? She doesn't worry about rules. She doesn't worry about people not liking her photos. She doesn't care. She is out here to have fun, and that's that. We just got back from a trip from South Dakota. She took more pictures than me, and quite honestly, sometimes the pictures were better. Is the horizon line in the middle? Yes. Is the rule of thirds applied? Absolutely not. But guess what? I look at her pictures and go, wow, that's actually pretty darn good. And the other thing I don't want this to be about is post-processing. I will be the first to admit I'm not good at it. And quite honestly, I don't want to be good at it. I want to go out here and I want to take pictures. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that post-processing is a huge and important part of photography now. And I have got to accept it, embrace it, and get better at it. And I get all of that. However, I don't want to get to the point where I can come out on a day like this and maybe the light doesn't work or the subject doesn't work. Something's not happening, and I take pictures and I go home and they're quite honestly subpar. They just don't look very good. And I don't want to get to the point at any time to where I take those pictures home, post-process them so they are really blah, mundane, not very good, and post-process them until they look fantastic. They are, they are something they never really were. So I know that sounds kind of negative, but one of the photographers I like to not emulate, but I do kind of look at is David Yarrow. And, you know, I know he's all over the place as far as subject matters and stuff like that, but that's actually, in my opinion, a good thing. But one of the things that really impressed me, he said he would be content with taking 4 pictures a year. 4. Not going out every week and just taking a picture for the sake of taking a picture to create content. He wants special. He wants standout. He himself says, I want to take pictures the world needs to see. And quite honestly, I don't have the budget he has. I don't have the talent he has. I've not been to the places he has. But my opinion is very similar. I don't want to go out and create content for content's sake. I want to be able to go out and create something that stands apart, that is wonderful, that is truly beautiful because it was beautiful, not because I made it beautiful after the fact. Now, again, I'm the new kid on the block here, and I really don't want to make enemies before I make friends. This is my opinion. This is what I'm talking about. And that's just me. That's just it. This is all opinion. There are no rules. There are no regulations. There are no guidelines. You cannot make mistakes unless you leave something at home and you can't take pictures. A little bit of a truth about right now, I did make a mistake. The road, Guanilla Pass Road, right behind me where my truck is parked, is closed just up the way a little bit, about a mile. If I made a mistake because what I wanted to do and where I wanted to take this video is on the other side of the pass. I made a mistake. I didn't do my research. But what I did is I compensated for it by finding this spot right off the side of the road where I could pull over and make this video. So if you like what I'm about, if you like what I'm saying, if you're interested in what I'm saying, please like, please subscribe, please contact. My website's not up and running quite yet. When the website is up and running, I will definitely announce that. Quite honestly, I know that this may not go anywhere. There are so many YouTube photographers out there that I just may be wasting my time. But you know something? I think this is fun. I genuinely enjoy making videos and putting them on YouTube. I'm not great. In fact, if you really want to see what I've been up to, my wife and I have been up to, I would go to Going Places with K and J. That's some of the most fun I've ever had, and also that's leading up to going out and taking more pictures. So I'm going to sign off for now. I'm going to try to go find some place to take some pictures, even though where I wanted to is about 10 miles that way that I can't get to. So anyway, my name is Chris. This is Chris G Photography, and this is really what I'm about. Thank you.